Hello everyone, let's go again to the second lesson of chapter 1 of Oliver Twist. Course 5, Lesson 2. Teacher Muhammad Ali Mayasi. Email mod_may@hotmail.com. Oliver Twist. Chapter 1. Treats of the place where Oliver Twist was born and of the circumstances attending his birth. Among other public buildings in a certain town, which for many reasons it will be prudent to refrain from mentioning and to which I will assign no fictitious name, there is one anciently common to most towns, great or small, to wit, a workhouse, and in this workhouse was born on a day and date which I need not trouble myself to repeat, inasmuch as it can be of no possible consequence to the reader. In this stage of the business, at all events, the item of mortality, whose name is prefixed to the head of this chapter, for a long time after it was ushered into this world of sorrow and trouble. By the parish surgeon it remained a matter of considerable doubt whether the child would survive to bear any name at all, in which case it is somewhat more than probable that these memoirs would never have appeared, or if they had, that being comprised within a couple of pages, they would have possessed the inestimable merit of being the most concise and faithful specimen of biography extant in the literature of any age or country. Although I am not disposed to maintain that the being born in a workhouse is in itself the most fortunate and enviable circumstance that can possibly befall a human being, I do mean to say that in this particular instance it was the best thing for Oliver Twist that could by possibility have occurred. The fact is that there was considerable difficulty in inducing Oliver to take upon himself the office of respiration, a troublesome practice, but one which custom has rendered necessary to our easy existence, and for some time he lay gasping on a little flat mattress, rather unequally poised between this world and the next, the balance being decidedly in favor of the latter. Now, if during this brief period Oliver had been surrounded by careful grandmothers, anxious aunts, experienced nurses, and doctors of profound wisdom, he would most inevitably and indubitably have been killed in no time. There being none of these to interfere with the workings of nature, it happened by a very common and not by any means unnatural process that Oliver gradually throve and grew strong. What an excellent example of the power of dress young Oliver Twist was! Wrapped in the blanket which had hitherto formed his only covering, he might have been the child of a nobleman or a beggar. It would have been hard for any to say which. The old story of the same sort, the heir of 100 heirs, or the legitimate offspring of a workhouse, was the theme of speculation among the gossiping old women who sat around the fire, and the nurse herself, who was a woman of wisdom and experience, declared that she had never seen such a baby. Oliver cried lustily. If he could have known that he was an orphan, left to the tender mercies of churchwardens and overseers, perhaps he would have cried the louder. Now, IELTS reading questions based on the passage. Questions from 1 to 5, multiple choice. Choose the correct letter A or B or C or D. Number 1. What is the narrator's attitude toward naming the town or giving it a fictitious name? You have 4 choices. Don't forget, 4 choices. You're going to choose one. A. He is eager to reveal the town's identity. B. He thinks it is unimportant to the story. C. He cannot remember the name. D. He is legally forbidden to mention it. Question number 2. What was uncertain immediately after Oliver Twist's birth? A. Whether he would be raised in the workhouse. B. Whether he was an orphan. C. Whether he would survive. D. Whether he would receive a name. Number 3. According to the narrator, being born in a workhouse was A. The worst possible fate for a child. B. A random and meaningless event. C. Ultimately the best outcome for Oliver. D. The result of poor medical decisions. Let's go to question number 4. What does the narrator suggest about the absence of family and medical professionals during Oliver's early hours? What does the narrator suggest about the absence of family and medical professionals during Oliver's early hours? A. Their presence might have saved Oliver. B. Their absence helped him survive. C. Their help was greatly missed. D. They were too late to arrive. Question number 5. How did people react when they saw Oliver wrapped in a blanket? How did people react when they saw Oliver wrapped in a blanket? A. They immediately knew he was poor. B. They thought he looked sickly and weak. C. They believed he was of noble birth. D. They were uncertain about his social status. Now let's go to questions from 6 to 10. True, false, not given. In the next lesson, I'm going to explain how to find the answers. Now I want you to read again and to find the answers. Question 6 to 10. True, false, not given. Do the following statements agree with the information in the passage? Write true if the statement agrees with the information. Write false if the statement contradicts the information. Write not given if there is no information on this. Number 6. The date of Oliver's birth was clearly stated in the chapter. 7. Oliver was born with breathing problems. 8. The nurse who saw Oliver believed he looked like a poor child. 9. Oliver had a grandmother who helped care for him. 10. Oliver's crying is described as weak and quiet. Now I want you to read. the text again and to find the answers and write them on a piece of paper, because in our coming lesson you are going to check your answers with my answers. So thanks a lot for today. Goodbye.